just stopped off at the gas station to pick up some food, protein bars, water, because we're doing another episode of Built, and it's a lot different from the rest of them. Right, Ian?
A lot different. First of all, this road we're about to turn on. Is it a road?
Is it a road, Jake?
It looks like a road. Are you sure?
Luckily, we're in our handy dandy Raptor.
Bro, I do not
Daddy
know
Jake
how
has.
we're gonna go across 4 lanes of traffic.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kind of curious.
Yeah, all right. Well, we're about to go off-roading.
Yeah, he said just
Let's
go
go.
straight across.
Oh, those are some rocks.
Oh. All right.
All right.
Dang, I should have prepared to put a... You said 15 minutes down here?
That's what it says. So 15 minutes.
Oh.
Dirt road.
I kind of like it, not gonna lie.
We're gonna turn Nico into a Raptor guy after this.
Yeah,
video.
Nico's gonna no more E90, brother.
So they took the car out here, or they...
I don't know, dude. I think I didn't see a trailer back there. Did you?
No.
So I wonder, there's no way, because that is, so it looks normal now, but my rear end is feeling a lot of things right now.
Me too. In a different way, though. There's no way you could go all that fast on this, though. I don't care
Yeah.
how good the truck is. I mean, these are some ruts, dude.
Okay, Jake, as a beginner enthusiast for off-roading, how is this?
No, I mean, this is easy. It's just there's some rocks. There's some rocks, man. It's just, I wish I had aired my shit down a little bit so we don't get stuck out here.
Yeah, I knock on wood.
I mean,
because
he's out here with his whole thing, so I.
well, because look, if we get stranded, we are kind of prepared. I have 2 protein bars. We can eat Ian if we have to.
Ian, actually, that's true. He's the other white meat.
Yeah.
We roofied him about 30 minutes ago. So
It should be kicking in right about now.
Hopefully my phone doesn't drop.
Is that a W-R-X?
Yeah, what car is that?
That's 3 Series.
Is it? Oh yeah, it is.
E90 3 Series.
Damn.
That thing has seen better days.
I like how there's a bathroom right there, but I can probably go to the bathroom anywhere out here.
I wouldn't go into that.
Unless a rattlesnake bites my balls.
Yep, there's the trailer.
Yep. Damn, they actually took the trailer out here.
Yeah, Jake, stop being a
I don't know what's easier.
Yeah, Jake, stop being a pussy. Pick a road.
Oh, these.
He is judging you.
These are
hard
easier.
right now, I bet.
Yeah.
Like, look at this rookie.
Well, I didn't air my tires down, so I don't want to hit big rocks, which I'm sure someone's going to correct me in the comments. Like, that's not how that works.
Well, we made it, guys.
There we go.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Built. Today we are here with
Brennan, and this is my 95 Ford F150.
just slightly modified.
Brennan, it doesn't necessarily look like a stock F-150, so what are we working with here? What is this thing?
This is a big tire, big shock, long travel F-150. It's full cage. It's kind of got everything. You can go over the bumps really fast.
Conveniently all the way out here in, where would you call this?
I don't even know what you'd
Hesperia?
want to call this. Hesperia, I think.
BFE.
On the side of the freeway.
And when Brennan says he goes over bumps really fast, he's not talking about, you know,
Speed bumps.
Speed
and
bumps.
falls, yeah.
Exactly. He's talking about some major
Well,
bumps.
Yeah, like big bumps. Like, I don't know if you can even, typically it doesn't come up good on video, but like,
watch the video of us
Oh,
coming
yeah.
up. My rear end is feeling a lot of things right now.
Not the stock over fenders or front end of any
Nope.
F-150.
Nope.
So you want to tell us what is going on here?
so all these trucks use it's a fiberglass hood and bedsides. And so this is a one piece from McNeil. And so there is no fender, right? On the F-150, there's a separate fender and a separate hood. So on these trucks, it's one big unit. And so it takes 2 people to get it off, which sucks. But it allows you to get in there and it takes all that stuff out of the way. So it's just wide open and it's really easy to work on stuff. Yeah, so we got the rigid lights. These are actually lasers. This is their new laser light they just came out with. And so I've been working with them for a little bit and I'm really impressed with the performance. They, you know, I had to make this little extension on here to push the lights forward because this grill was so big, everything got moved. Everything's custom. So I actually had to massage and cut this hood to get it to where nothing bolts on. I had to cut 2 inches out of the whole frame to mush it back so that, because it was all meant to be like on a trophy truck kind of thing. And so everything has to get changed. Everything's custom. It's just off-road is a nightmare. Let's see. So, I mean, rear end. So, I mean, obviously we got the big fiberglass fenders, but what you don't see is a 3-inch coilover and a 4.4 bypass. So it's a 4.5 inch bypass essentially, which has tubes. And so our tubes are all of our adjustments. You want to wait till that train? All right, so we'll go back to the shock. So we got a 3-inch coilover and a 4.5 inch. It's a 4.4 with Fox. And it's literally like this big around. We're gonna pull the bedsides off in a little bit and we'll show everyone what those look like. But everything on this truck is essentially trophy truck parts. So if you guys have seen a trophy truck, if you haven't, Google trophy truck, Google trophy truck, and then this is essentially what we're trying to do here. And so what we have 65 gallons of fuel. We have 40-inch tires. We have dual transmission coolers. We have dual batteries, dual fuel pumps. There's 4 fuel filters. There's two fuel filters per pump. So everything is a redundant system because like when we're out remote, we don't want to have problems. And so.
And you take this thing out there, you race this thing. This isn't a Starbucks route.
I haven't raced, this isn't a race truck. We have other cars that I race, but like I've taken this truck to Baja, we do the Mojave Trail, like very remote places. This truck's taken me a lot of places that I would have never imagined. Yeah. And so we'll do a run from Barstow all the way to Laughlin in the dirt. Oh, wow. And it's 200 miles each direction. And then we'll do it there and back. So it's 400 miles in 3 days, all in the dirt. Fuel cell actually ends like right here, right on top of the tires. So it's essentially this whole area is all fuel.
You're saying there's a box up there that you built that houses basically all your other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things that happen with these trucks. Like, there's a lot of wear and tear. Yeah. So shit's always breaking. This truck's been extremely reliable. But like, I have spare belts, power steering pumps. I have a spare drive shaft on board. I mean, we got to kind of plan for everything. Yeah. And so it just kind of is what it is. You got to carry a lot. But the cool thing is when you start building a truck like this and you eat the cost up front of the big parts, you have less problems, but it's like, it's still a pain.
And it's a buy once, cry once build, you can tell. I mean, there's a couple dollars in this truck, I think.
Yeah, so if you want to go down to the rear end housing, so this is a trophy truck housing with a 10-inch ring gear. And then it has the jumbo 36 spline axles. They're the size of like a monster can. The axles that go in it, and they're all 300M gun drilled. Like you cannot break them.
This is the part where you break an axle today, by the way.
No, there's no way. There's no way. There's no way. We don't have the horsepower, and we're fine. So big brakes. So this is a 4-inch TIG welded housing, and then we have 6-piston, machined 6-piston brakes all the way around.
Those brakes are so close to the ender on that wheel. That's crazy.
Well, because it's you guys are used to bigger. You guys are used to bigger wheels. Yeah. With normal size rotors. So these are normal rotors on a 17-inch wheel. Okay. Yeah. So like I can slide a business card in between the caliper and the wheel.
No, we will not make you wheels with that clearance. That is not happening.
And so you can see like if you get up in there, you can actually see like marks where like little rocks have gotten in there and it chews up. But I mean, it's the only option because the manufacturer of these tires, they only make them in 17s. Yeah. Trophy trucks now are starting to go to 18s. And so 18s are going to now start being a thing so that they can put even bigger brakes. And now that they're all going 4-wheel drive, they need that room inside the rim.
I mean, forgive me here because we haven't gotten into that. This is a 2-wheel drive truck?
2-wheel drive.
2-wheel drive.
Most of these trucks are 2-wheel drive. Yeah. And then like guys that are building similar F-150s and Broncos, they have like twin traction beam Dana 44 beams that are 4-wheel drive, but it's pretty rare.
I mean, I know in my off-roading experience, which is definitely not this level, I think I've used my 4-wheel drive once. I feel like in most of what you're doing out here, it's 2-wheel drive.
I've taken this thing to the sand. Like the cool thing is when you have horsepower, it can kind of get you out of a lot of situations, and so I've never had an issue, and it's been really good the whole time.
More fun too.
Yeah, 100%. I probably spend 20 hours a week on this truck, 20 to 30 hours a week. Yeah, you'll have to get that on video. We'll just make sure the wind doesn't catch it.
All right, Jay, get the away.
And so then we'll just pick up from the back and then just kind of wiggle it.
Just gonna watch Ian struggle.
Come on, Ian.
Come on, Ian.
Brother.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay.
That is f***ing sick.
This doesn't look like an F-150 anymore.
So the motor is a bored and stroked LS3. It's a 418 cubic inch LS3 that was built by Maruzzi Race Motors. He's up in Banning. He does pretty much Everyone in off-road, he does their LSs. He does other stuff too, but I mean, his main deal is LS. And so he's one of my good buddies, and I've never had any problems. Always took care of everything, and it's really been nice.
I mean, you're speaking my language here because I'm a big
Yeah,
LS
big
guy.
LS
So it's a
guy.
418 LS3 block. What heads are on here?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm not the motor guy, but I believe they're stock LS3 heads. Big cam, yeah.
Does it chop?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
matters. Tanks are interesting. So that's sealed off to keep dust, dirt, and all that other shit.
Yeah,
out of
so
there.
these are the dual air filters. You can just pop these off. So this is how you like get to everything. I don't know if they're dirty or not. They shouldn't be that bad. And so we got 2 of them because you can go like one huge one,
Yeah.
or you go with dual medium guys.
Well, I mean, I feel like again, it's a redundancy. One fails, you block off the other side,
And
and you
so-
keep going. You know.
It's working.
And so these are like essentially like a tractor filter.
Yeah.
So this is something that they've made to kind of adapt to off-road. We just have 2 of them. So I made this like split intake system.
I've never seen that before. That was fucking cool.
You see it on these trucks here and there. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like the problem is we run out of space, right? Because tires come so far up that we have to like, where are you going to put it? Like, and so we have to figure out where all the shit is going. And it's trying to pack 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag.
What's it make?
It's 425 with 40s.
With 40s.
And so, because that's so
So this is like a 500 plus horsepower setup on a
it
smaller
should be
tire,
closer
yeah.
to 6.
Six.
And so at the crank.
Yeah.
And so because I've been told, because we have a 4L80,
Okay.
4L80, big axles, big gears, big tires, I've been told that you lose like almost 200 horsepower in drivetrain.
Yeah, the 4L80 is pretty guilty of eating up the horsepower, I will say.
Yeah, and I don't remember what it was. I think it was like 20 horsepower per tire size, like 37, 35, 33s. You know, you could go down. There's some guys that dyno on like small tires just to like pump up the numbers.
I'm really doing the math in my head right now. I'm like, God.
And so I don't know if that's true. We might get grilled, but I know it's a lot. It's
Yeah.
plenty of horsepower for what we're doing. It's not all about the horsepower. I mean, I would rather have more torque than horsepower. Like if we're going over bumps, I need it now. Like I need torque now.
yeah.
You know, I need to get over this bump. You know, we need to do some stuff. No, it's been super great. Motor's awesome. It rips. I've never felt like I needed more.
Transmission-wise, you said it's 4L80?
Yeah, so 4L80, and that was built by Cole Hain. He's in like Lake Elsinore. He does pretty much everyone in off-road's transmissions, and it's been fantastic. I mean, because I'll drive it on the freeway and put it in that 4th gear and just cruise it at 75, 80 miles an hour, and it does really, really good.
And then oiling setup on this, because the LSs have oil starvation issues, right?
Yeah.
Stock pan, stock pickup? Or?
Stock pan, stock pickup. We increased the PSI on the pump.
Okay.
And so it cranks pretty high on
And
the
it's running like a
oil
belly
pressure.
pump or something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so it's got all the good stuff. I'm not like a big motor guy,
Yeah.
but that's what I have my good friend Robert for. Like he does all that. I just entrust him with
Yep.
giving me it back.
Man, give me a good motor. Just hands off, here you go.
Yeah, he gives it back. So we got a big radiator, dual fans.
And the radiator's in the front on this one, which is odd for this kind of truck, right?
Well, so the issue with rear radiator is when you have, typically you don't have windows when you have a rear radiator. So if you're like big off-road truck guy and your radiator's in the back, if you have windows, you're getting no airflow. So then you're gonna start having heating issues. So because this is like a street legal pre-runner, this is the ideal setup is front radiator, you know, AC condensers up front.
AC.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did say
That
that.
is
AC.
very cool.
Yeah, something this truck didn't have until a few months ago. A few weeks ago, actually.
Look, all right, you buy a used car, shit happens, okay?
The Raptor didn't have AC?
Didn't have AC, no.
Fords, man. So I actually had to clearance the chassis to fit the AC compressor. So AC compressor, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see, it's down in there, buried. So I had to clearance the chassis to fit it. I made a box and I had to pull the engine out, clearance the chassis to fit it, and it's a real pain in the ass if you have to do anything. I can actually get it in and out, which is nice.
And then motor-wise, we're sitting real far back here. I mean, the accessory drive is like way, way, way back. Did you have to cut and clearance and all that there?
This motor is actually not pushed that much further back than what it would have been stock, because the way the suspension is, it all sits and cycles inside of like a saddle that's from the factory. And so all I did on this was, there's a company called AutoFab, and they actually make an LS conversion motor mounts.
Yeah.
And so I was able to bolt this in using their mounts.
Oh, wow.
And so it pushed it back a little bit, but it's not, I didn't have to do any firewall stuff. I can still get in the back to get tranny bolts, get all that.
So
it's
your
not
motor's
a
in your
problem.
lap when you're driving.
No.
Okay.
I haven't had to clearance any of the cab. A lot of guys do. So typically when it's a A-arm trophy truck thing, the motor is, you know, probably sitting right here. But that's because the suspension and shocks is here.
Yeah.
And so they have to mush the motor back because we have beams. And so nothing comes up inside here. All the suspension is all down. It's lower. Where if you have A-arms, everything's coming up top. And so you have to make room and clearance. And so it's really easy. Beams are like the easiest thing to do. A-arms, everything gets kind of crazy when you're trying to do a big long travel A-arm setup.
Absolutely.
So these are this is a 3.0 coilover and a 4.0 bypass. And so just so everyone is aware, so these are rebound tubes and these are all compression adjustment. And so we can change the different sections of the shock for certain terrain. So if you want it a little bit softer, you can pull all these tubes out. It's going to soften the whole shock up. And so I can make this part stiffer, I can make this part stiffer, and then I can make this part stiffer. Wow. And so that's what all these adjustments are. And then these are rebound, so I can actually slow down rebound as it's pulling out. So if you have a truck that's like lifting, so a lot of times it happens in the back, you see trucks kind of like bucking in the back, so you can slow that rebound down and bring the ass end down and smooth it out.
How many inches of travel in the front?
The front is 23.
23 in the rear?
32.
32. That is quite a bit of travel. For guys, what is basically, I mean, it's a pre-runner, but you can drive it on the street. It's a street truck. This is some serious. I know that, most of our audience are car guys. You guys aren't really maybe all that into this. Maybe you've seen it once or twice. This is a serious suspension setup for a street-driven truck. I mean, normally you've got, hate to keep referring back, but you've got a good comparison here between a street truck and a street truck.
Yeah, I mean, a Raptor's probably got 12 to 13.
I think it's around that. I'll take your word for it. But I mean, that's considered a big shock for a street truck. And I mean, this is a whole different ballgame. Like, your external reservoir is as big as my shock. We'll go around to the back, take the bedsides off, take a look at what the rear suspension setup looks like, because 32 inches of travel is nutty. It's my race car, and then I'm trying to get into the, modify it as my skill better kind of thing.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty big, right?
Hey, I mean,
So that's it's a 16-inch, 16-inch coilover, 18-inch bypass, and then we have the 2.5-inch bump stops right here for like that last little bit of hit. It'll soak that up, and so this is a good gauge, like to see how much bump stop you're using. Like it'll clean this off, so you'll see kind of how much you're using. So you want to use the bump stop, but not too much. Like if it's always clean all the time, you probably need to screw some tubes in. Like these are all our compression tubes. We have them all marked with, how many turns in we have them.
Oh, that's smart.
that's very smart.
And then run me through, I mean, obviously there's a lot of shock choices in off-road. You're running Fox, I know King, I know, there's all kinds of brands. Why Fox?
I mean, Fox gave me the best deal.
That's fair.
That's usually
fair.
So the cool thing about Fox is I got buddies that work there, and we were able to go, I was able to go shock tuning with Fox.
Oh, sick.
So they met me out in the desert, had their van. We went and drove it and pulled the shocks off. We made a bunch of internal adjustments, pulled the pistons apart, changed all the shims, and then we fine-tuned it for 6-7 hours.
Oh, wow.
And so the support with Fox was, I was blown away. So it was like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
King also does the same thing. They go out to Barstow on Wednesdays and they do shock tuning out there. So if you have their product, you can go tune. You can go tune, and they'll help you out.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool service that a lot of people don't really know fully exist. I mean, Fox, I don't know how frequent it is. I know King's pretty consistent with Wednesdays out in Barstow.
And then you're running the fiberglass. I know a lot of these trucks just don't run with anything back here and have the suspension exposed. You want to keep the street truck look?
Yeah, I mean, this thing spends a decent amount of time on the road,
which is cool.
And so I'm not trying to get pulled over, and so I want to look as nonchalant as possible because
not nonchalant.
It's loud. It's loud. It's obnoxious, and so then they're easy. A lot of times when I go out to the desert, if we're doing any shock tuning, like it won't have fenders or anything on it because then it's easier to get to all the
and then
adjustments.
take our guys through. I mean, there's a strap right there. I'm sure a lot of people are wondering
what
what that is, what that does.
So that is a limit strap, and so the truck will droop out until this strap gets tight, and so you want to stop the shock right before it's drooped out.
Yeah.
So if it's an 18-inch shock, you want to probably stop it at 17.5, because the issue is you don't want piston coming down and being metal on metal coming out.
Yeah.
Because it's just bad. And so then this stops it just right before the end of the shock, so it keeps everything happy.
You were saying you built this back half. Take us through the logic of how this all came together, the suspension geometry. Like, why you did what you did.
Yeah, so I had to, when I put these shocks on it, I actually had to clearance the cab. There's a box right here that you can't even tell. And so I had to clearance into the cab for the head of the shock and this hose to go because there was no room for it. So in making the new shock mounts, you just want to make sure that like when everything is bottoming out, everything is bottoming out at the same time.
Yeah.
And so in making shock mounts, when it comes up, you know, everything is within, you know, like typically we'll take a washer and stack it in between everything, and then the bump stop is fully bottomed out, but I have a washer worth of length on the coilover and the bypass.
It's precise, all things considered. There's
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of engineering
Oh,
in
yeah.
that, which
Yeah.
is really, really cool, because you were saying you built most of this truck yourself, and I think a lot of people, you know, see this type of thing and they think it went to some, you know, big race shop. So
No.
crazy to see all what you got going on back here.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I wouldn't even know where to begin.
I've built a handful of trucks. I've been a part of some really big builds. I'm not like a professional fabricator by any means, but like I'm pretty decent. And I mean,
pretty
most
decent, all
most
right?
of that comes down to like I was poor. Like I didn't have any money to like pay. I've never paid, you know, anybody other than my buddies that I wanted to like give money to or whatever. Like I have never paid. This has never been at a shop since it's been mine. It's never been to a shop to get fab work done. The third member on these trucks is a little bit different probably than what you guys are used to. So the whole gear set goes in as a unit. And so I don't know if, is that normal for
Well, so
you
in
guys?
like the race applications, it's like the winter's quick change, which is
Mm-hmm.
the same general concept. Basically, like back half the pumpkin comes off, you change the gear set. But in street applications, not as much.
So there's guys that'll bring different third members.
Yeah.
And they will, like trophy truck guys, they'll qualify on a different gear ratio than what they're racing on. And so they have different, it's not that quick. It's 2 gallons of oil and you have to wait for like silicone to dry. Like it's not a quick deal. But yeah, they'll do a high torque, you know, like lower gear for, you know, higher speed and doing all that stuff. And so they change them out. I mean, getting it out, it's 10 bolts and it's not that big of a deal, but axles and everything have to come out. It's kind of a nightmare.
And I know in the car world, we kind of like gearing is kind of set it and forget it. You pick the gears, put them in your car. It's based on, you know, how much power you have, what your goal is, your transmission setup, blah, blah, blah. But it seems like in the truck world, what a lot of these guys are running is that, you know, very similar to the race cars, very similar to like what we talked about on Ryan's car. If you've seen that episode, if not, it's going to be over here. You know, you have those different gear ratios for different setups, different uses. So is a lot of this, I mean, your power is kind of set where it's set. You can kind of control how the dynamics of the truck based on the gearing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't change it.
But you could.
I could, but like, you know, this is a 543. We've been really happy with that gear set. The second you go to like a 6.0 gear, you lose like a whole tooth off of the pinion, and so your pinion becomes a little bit weaker, and so it's just a whole different deal. So we found a happy medium with the 543, and we pretty much just leave it there. We pretty much put that in all the pre-runners. I mean, on trophy trucks and 6100s, they're actually using an underdrive now.
Yeah.
So they do an underdrive off the trans, which has a separate gear ratio than the third. So you can actually go to like a 410. I might be speaking on my ass. Like a 410 in the back, but your gear reduction with the underdrive ends up being like a 620 gear or something.
Interesting. So they've got more control at the transmission.
And you can change those gears easier than you can change these off the.
Wow.
Learning a lot of new stuff today.
Yeah.
There's tons of stuff. Like we don't do that on the pre-runner stuff because that's like, I mean, the thing's like the underdrive's like $8,000.
Yeah.
It is interesting though, seeing the overlap between this and other like race cars.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all the same guys.
Yeah.
We're the same guy.
Yeah.
It's just different things. And so like we're all in the shop. We're all busting our ass to do this shit to get it here, you know, on the weekend or whatever it is. It's all the same crap.
Wasting all of our time and all of our money on something that will
Yeah.
never pay the dividends that we hope.
Yeah. Yeah. And so once, you know, I talk to my buddies all the time, like, what are we doing? You know, like all hours of the night. Like I just got sent a meme the other day. It was like, why do I spend 80% of my money on something I drive 5% of the time? You know, like shit like that. It's all, and then I responded, I was like, it's actually more like 0.05% of the time because this thing just sits in the shop all the time, and you know, I tinker on it, change stuff, and fix things, and
that's the fun of it, though, man.
Yeah.
I mean, where's the fun if it runs? You know.
I love it. I've built my whole life around this whole, you know, off-road hobby, and I moved where I moved because of it. You know, like everything in my life revolves around these stupid freaking trucks, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Dude, no, you love it. You got it to do this stuff, and I mean, you're being in the industry, obviously, like, you have to love it to do it. I mean, you know, if I wanted to make money, I wouldn't sell wheels, right?
Yeah.
So this is, super sick to see this much like time, effort, energy, passion, et cetera, poured into a
And
project.
even cooler, the fact that it took us, roughly an hour. Should have been 30 minutes without traffic. Should have only taken us 30 minutes without traffic to get here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're still probably got like, what, another 45 minutes? Hour,
To where I'm going?
To where you're going?
Yeah,
Or-
probably 45 minutes.
And this is Southern California. Like, this is like minus a lot of our other stuff that I probably won't get into. But we have such a great opportunity here. There's racetracks around here. There's, dirt roads that you can get crazy.
Yeah, so
with.
I'm part of like some race teams, and we race in Barstow, which is only, probably another 45 minutes to an hour down the freeway. And, we do 25-mile loops, and we'll do like 5 or 6 laps. And then if you go to Lucerne, which is probably an hour 20 from here, we were doing like 75-mile laps all in one area. And it's
How long does
it's
it
amazing.
roughly take?
Unless
you're not doing it
based
for
on
5 minutes.
average, like depending, because like there's spots where you're going, 80 to 100, but then there's spots where you're going like 20. And so you're probably, to do like a lap of 25 miles, you're probably 45 to 50 minutes.
Which is fast off-road.
Fast off-road,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
'cause
Yeah,
Jake
so,
doesn't wanna go
okay, so we were
around
talking about the Mojave Trail, that's 200 miles. We do it in like 6 hours.
Yeah, which is amazing. Which,
We're hauling ass.
to give again our viewers a kind of frame of reference, if you were in, let's say, a Raptor, right, capable street truck, how long is that trail going to take you?
People do it in like 2 days.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a capable vehicle. So just to show you guys the difference between like what you can buy and what you can build, I mean, it's night and day.
Yeah, wheel and tires.
So 40-inch BFGs. I've never ran another tire. That's just, there's no reason to.
Seems to be the industry standard.
There's Toyo, there's a couple other guys, that are doing stuff, but I've done some stuff with these tires that I'm like, there's no way. There's no way.
It's like you do that thing, you're like, what the fuck?
And so, we go smaller rim, more tire, obviously, because where there's rocks and there's all kinds of stuff. So we want as most amount of sidewall as possible. We'll run about 25 PSI. And which is well, so like when you're going faster, like it ends up going higher.
Yeah.
Like guys that are like cruising around like Raptors and guys in Toyota Tacomas, they'll probably put them down to like mid-teens.
Yeah.
Because they are also using it as suspension.
Yeah.
They need that extra suspension in their tires. But since we have it built into the car, we don't need as much sidewall give. Yeah, KMC's been a big supporter of us and our race teams for a while. So the cool thing about this wheel, this is a Robbie Gordon wheel. And so there's the OG Robbies that everyone just like pines over, like it's just iconic.
Yeah.
And so KMC, I don't know what the deal was. They either bought the rights to it, and so this is KMC's version of the Robbie.
Single bead lock or double bead lock?
Single bead lock on the front, and I mount and do all this stuff right at my house. Like I don't use a tire machine. Everything is just gets smashed on like a caveman.
See, and
That
if you
is-
don't want to have to do that and you're looking for some KMC wheels, you can package KMCs with 40-inch BF Goodwrench tires, mounted balance shipped straight to your door
Yeah,
for
and
free
make-
on threepiece.us.
And make Mikey suffer.
Yeah, I mean, wheel and tire. It's probably over 100 pounds. 100.
Wow.
120
Good luck,
pounds.
Good luck, Mikey.
Good luck, Mikey. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
What's going on? This is
Okay, where are you trying to go?
Get lost.
Good luck, Jack.
Oh, it's a Land Cruiser.
What your truck wishes it was, Nico.
Yeah.
I know.
All right, so we're on the inside. So we got full Gucci leather interior.
Basically a Rolls Royce in here.
We got the carpet kit. We have dual, so I'll turn this on. We got dual Holley screens.
That's
So that
awesome.
passenger and driver can both monitor, because there's a lot going on. Like I'm not paying attention to the gauges all the time. So it's nice to have another set of eyes on gauges. We have a GPS. We have the race radio and intercom. And so on off-road trucks, they're so loud that let me turn this radio off. We wear these headsets. And so these are like noise canceling headsets. And I'm able to talk car to car through these headsets. So when we're out on the trails, if something's coming up or we have oncoming traffic, I can hit my button on my steering wheel and I can radio out to my buddies in the trucks behind me or in front of me
letting them know that I broke down or whatever. Which is really cool. It adds a level of safety, but then also quiets down because these things sound like a bucket of bolts with the way the shocks are. Just a huge add-on feature. So you got Sparco seats, 3 of them in here actually. We got Sparco seats. Yeah, 3-seater. It's a big deal.
The 3 seats, is that common?
No, most of the time they're 2 seats. You know, Ford Rangers are, you know, most of the time 2 seats because you can't, the real estate isn't there. But on the bigger trucks, 3 seats is ideal. You know, grab another buddy. We have extra room for crap, you know, coolers. You know, there's all kinds of room for a bunch of stuff. So what's crazy is the thing has basically full interior.
Streetcar like 240s that have less interior than this. I mean, this is a race truck, and you know, leather dash, bro. Like
I just got a new Sparco seat cover here. They just because I just went over to Sparco yesterday, picked up some seats, and I snagged this little cover from. It's like a memory foam, nice little cushion. So
which is probably helpful when you're bouncing up and down for 2 hours.
Yeah. Okay, so I work for a company called Switch Pros, and we manufacture these programmable switch panel systems. And so I have my whole car running on this system. There's no fuses, no relays. And so we have an 8 switch and a 12 switch. So I have fuel pump, start. It's all push button start. And then we have, everything's programmable, and you can all do it on an app on your phone. So you can do dim, strobe, flash, momentary. You can change all kinds of stuff. And it's 125 amps for the 8 and 150 for the 12.
Multiple uses. It's not just trophy trucks.
No. Yeah, I just got sent a drag car, like a 10-second car. I got a video of a 10-second car with our system in it. And we're always trying to find new avenues for it. We put them in boats. We put them in all kinds of stuff.
I've seen them in boats, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah.
Have you seen the Razor with the jet ski strapped to it?
I have not seen that yet.
Okay, look that up.
Okay.
Google Razor with a jet ski strapped to it. There's a guy out of Florida that's making this full custom chassis Razor, and he straps 2 jet skis to where the wheels go, and he has our switch panel in
That's
there.
so sick. I got remote start on the
Big
truck
remote
here.
start guy.
We got phone snapshot.
Yeah, I know. Filming.
I put a password on it, and I forgot what I put.
This thing is gnarly.
All right, attempting to get in here. This will be. Wow.
We can put Bluetooth in here. We can put music.
Yeah. So RIP camera audio, I guess. Those 2 guys are the I don't trust anybody else is driving, and I'm the I'll hop into whoever fucking car that's sent in. No, you're good. I trust you. Oh yeah.
Way more than I expected. So I thought he would like slow down here. Yeah. Oh, dude, that was so fast. That was so fast.
It's so fucking crazy.
Get me trying to run out of the way. Nico. God damn it.
Feedback in the steering wheel.
Oh,
I
really?
can drive it with like one finger.
Is there a certain reason why you'd want it to be so light? Because usually with race cars, it's, you know, heavier, more direct. That's kind of wild.
It's just like pinky. You can drive with a pinky.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Built. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what other vehicles we should do in the future. Obviously, I think you should upload your car to the vehicle gallery, whether it looks like this or it looks like your normal
Or looks
NPC.
like that.
Or yeah, or looks like that. Whatever. Brennan, if they want to check out this build, or if you have anything else you want to plug, is there anything?
My Instagram is Goofball Racer, and go build a pre-runner.
And also, well, the way we found you too, this truck is for sale, correct?
It is for sale, yeah.
Awesome.
How for sale is it?
How for sale?
It's kind of for sale. Like if it sells, cool. If not, I actually have another tube chassis truck that I'm building. That's a trophy truck. I'm going to do the same thing to. But yeah, I mean, you guys come over and do. I got a shop and build all kinds of stuff.
Oh,
So
awesome.
You want to plug the shop?
no, it's just my my house.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Don't show up at my house.